Episode number 91.
And today, Mario is basically going to be interviewing me on my experience inside a sensory deprivation tank. So basically, as he's learning through his own curiosity, y'all will be learning. So
yes, this is it's a very unique experience.
Oh, it is insane.
So I guess leading up to the tank, what were your first, or what were the reasons? What was the reason that you wanted to jump into the tank?
That was good. My reasons for wanting to get into the tank. I mean, it's come across like my YouTube feed for a while, and so I always see other people's experiences, like Joe Rogan. And then,
Joe Rogan did it?
Yeah, no, he's been doing it. He has his own at his own house.
No way, Joe Rogan.
Yeah,
no.
Joe Rogan, and people like Stephen Curry, and then people like what's it called? The guys on Rhett and Link from Good Mythical Morning. Like everyone's tried it on there. They make these YouTube videos, and they all experience like just complete relaxation, and it just seems so weird. But I always brush it off. I was like, oh, that's something I'll do like later in my adult life. Like, why would I want to be in like that dark, claustrophobic looking pod or tank or whatever? But more recently, more stuff started popping up about how like all the benefits, like for mind and body. Basically like relieves tension and back and neck pain, and then for the mind, it just calms down the anxiety and the stress, and it makes you really think, and it really gives you what you need, which is even what the lady there told me, that it gives you what you need, not what you want. And so I was like, okay, that's interesting. That's actually really interesting, because recently more than ever, stress levels have been pretty high. And so I was hoping to get some kind of new insight, like why is it that this is going on? Not only that, but like on my last, I guess, trip, if you guys know what I'm talking about. On my last trip, like this really resurfaced, like an underlying issue resurfaced, and I barely realized during that trip, like, oh wow, turns out I have anxiety and I overthink a lot. And so that's something that I always just brush aside, like, no, everyone gets, stressed out and stuff, which is true. But I realized that it was becoming an issue. And so when this came across, I was like, you know what, this would be perfect. I need to practice letting go and surrendering, which has been like a reoccurring theme across these past few months for me, has been learning to surrender. And so I never understood what that really meant until basically when I went to that flotation tank, to that sensory deprivation tank. But anyway, yeah, that's basically why I wanted to go in there, was to just get that experience first of all, because it's a cool experience. Mm-hmm. Just try it out and not be scared of it, even though I was pretty scared of it. Yeah. But at the same time, just deal with whatever's going on in my mind, and like in that way, since they say it's so good for you.
Yeah, that's so insane. It sounds like the ultimate meditation, which is crazy to think about, literally floating and everything. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess that could lead into... Well, those were your thoughts on why you were doing it. But what were your thoughts, like, really right there, foot away from the tank? What were some thoughts that were conjuring up in your mind simply right before you were about to hop in?
Right before I was about to hop in, like, I was still, like, scared, even though I told myself, like, you know what, no, I need to just get into it and just do it. But I was still a little bit scared. I didn't know why. It was just, like, the idea of getting in there and being in silence and darkness for a whole hour and 15 minutes. But then I just reminded myself, instead of focusing on that, I did my best to remind myself, wait a second, the latch, you can always open the latch at any time, first of all. Second of all, like, you're going to be safe in here. Like, you're just going to be floating. Like, everything's nice. People have done this thing before. Like, there's nothing to be afraid of. But really the thing I was overthinking about the most, like, I was equating it to that of a bad trip. So I was equating it to like a previous bad trip where it's just an uncontrollable, basically like an uncontrollable psychosis. Since they say, like, because I was reading all these articles on other people's experiences, and they say that everyone experiences hallucinations of some sort. And even people who are low prone and high prone psychosis, people all across the board experience some type of hallucination or something. So I was like, wow, it's already bad enough. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm high prone because of like the bad trips that I've had before on psychedelics. And it was just like, dang. So my problem really was I was equating it to that of a bad trip, which is completely different, because when you ingest like some kind of psychedelic, like you're forced to go through it. Whereas this, like, you have the chance to just open the latch. So I don't know. My problem was overthinking it, and like I said, just making it seem like it's the same as that when it really wasn't at all. So yeah, my thoughts were just overthinking, thinking like, oh my gosh, what if I'm not able to control it? What if I start hallucinating bad? And I convinced myself of something that didn't really happen. And yeah, it's just gonna be a scary experience. I'm gonna get stuck in there. What if, like, just irrational thoughts and fears that just never actually happened. But yeah, those were my thoughts as I was about to like
jump in,
step in. But yeah,
that's insane. That is so insane. And I guess we all have these fears right before we do something new, right, that we haven't ever done, but then we do it, we're just like, yeah, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah. No.
And that's the thing, though. I guess first thing, when you were actually physically in there, laying down, floating, what were the first thoughts conjuring in your mind? What came up first? What did you realize?
Nah, I mean, it's like once I was actually in there, I was just like, you know what? This isn't gonna be that bad. It's actually nice and warm in here. And so I was stepping in. I finally closed the latch like right over me, but I left it cracked with a little towel, which later on I wish I hadn't because it really wasn't that bad. But it was so pitch black in there. So yeah, I was stepping in. I was like, oh, this is nice and peaceful. They had some music playing in there as well, and so I just like some binaural beats, like meditation.
Is that always playing?
It wasn't supposed to, but she forgot to turn it off for me.
No way.
But like, yeah, it wasn't supposed to. It was only supposed to play for the first 5 minutes and then fade out. And then the rest of the experience is in silence. But I'm kind of glad she did, since it was my first time. Like, it kept me grounded. Like, it kept me like just listening to something, which was good. Because like when the music went silent at one point. I don't even know how minutes in. They went silent. It was complete silence. I was like, oh man, now I'm just by myself. It's been 5 minutes already. Now I'm just by myself. But then it was just like the next song was about to play. I was like, okay, it's still playing. That's weird. I guess she forgot to turn it off. Yeah. But no, yeah. Anyway, my first thoughts when I started just floating in there, it was so weird. Like, I got in here, I was like, this is interesting. Like, it's nice and warm. It's not that bad. So I just let myself go back. And the thing is, I was like really tense. Like, I didn't want to like let myself go, if that makes any sense. Mm-hmm. Like, I was laying back. Like, it was just crazy how like the water just makes you float. Like, you can't like push yourself down. Like, you just float because it has like 1,000 pounds of Epsom salt in there. Yeah. And so I'm floating, but what I realized, like, my first thoughts is like, damn, I'm like really tense. I just need to, like, I was practicing just letting go, basically, like getting myself into just letting this meditation happen. And so yeah, that was basically like the first few minutes was just me like telling myself, Harvey, just let it go, just relax, relax. It's not that bad. So like, because I didn't want like the water to come up to my ears, but they give you earplugs. So I just lay back more and more, and I just realized like, dang, I'm really tense. Like, this isn't comfortable. I just need to let myself go. So I like let my arms go out wider, let my legs just go, and then like I dip my head more back, and they give you like this little ring that you put on your head if you want it
to flow, or what?
Not to flow, just to like so your head's like comfortable and you stays in one place, you're not tilted, yeah. And so I decided to get that on. Next time I'm not doing it with that. I just want to like just float normally. But yeah, so I was just laying back, and so when I finally like just relieved everything, like just relaxed my shoulders, relaxed my neck, and stopped like trying to pick, because I was trying to hold myself up for some reason. Like, no, I just let it come, and the water was like to like right here. And so that's when I started like to actually feel like a little bit more relaxed. I was like, you know what, I can just float here and relax. But then after those first few minutes, like when I was actually getting into like relaxing mode, then came the thoughts. Because once you get yourself into that relaxed state, it's like, okay, now you made room for these thoughts. So the thoughts, of course, start pouring in. And so I'm like, okay, this isn't that bad. Relax. Heart rate started going down. It wasn't pounding as hard. And so then came like, okay, this isn't that bad. I can do this. And then the thought came of like, wait, we have to do this for a whole hour and 15 minutes. And then the panic started coming. I was like, how am I going to last in here in darkness, like for this long, an hour and 15 minutes? That's insane. What the fuck am I going to do? What am I going to think about? What if something happens? And it's just, of course, irrational fears. And that's when I stopped myself. I was like, wait, no. I just need to focus on the moment, like just right now, every breath. And so like the crazy part is like even the owner that recommended this part is just focus back to your breath. If you feel like something's going like too far, just bring the attention back to the breath every now and then, and just relax. And so it's crazy how fast that works, especially in that tank. Like it was so easy to stop just this train of thoughts that was just crashing, because like I just realized I need to breathe. I'm not getting enough oxygen. Just breathe. And so I breathed a few times, and that's when I realized, wait a second, yeah, all that matters is my breath right now. It's like breath is like life force energies, you know. So I'm still alive. I'm still fine. It's all in my head. It's like the head that causes the tension and the stress in the body, and it's insane. Like that just made me realize like literally everything's in the mind. Yeah. Everything is in the mind. You can make things 10 times worse than what they actually are with just what's going on in your head. And so yeah, for me, like when I started to get like that pain, like, oh my gosh, I have to be here for a whole hour and 50 minutes. It's probably only been like 5 minutes. Holy shit. Like, how am I going to deal with this? But like all these questions, like they just stopped when I was like, oh wait, this is the point of this, is to like catch yourself thinking this and just bring it back to your breath. And so I started breathing again. But then I also wanted to think about those thoughts. I'm like, okay, let me put myself in those thoughts again. Because even if that does happen, like, let me see if it's still the same thing. So I started thinking about it again. Okay, I'm going to be in here for an hour and 15 minutes. So what? Okay, I'm going to be here. Like, it might feel forever. I don't care. And so once I actually started thinking about it from like a calm state, it's like, it wasn't as bad as the thought just like catching you by surprise. Like, holy shit, here an hour and 15 minutes. Instead it's more like, okay, I'm gonna be in here for that long. It doesn't matter. All that matters is the present, like this moment right now. And so yeah, once I got that panic over with, then like I don't even like I'm telling like time does not exist in that thing. I don't know how many minutes were passing by, but I'm guessing a few more minutes passed by. And then I started laughing for some reason. Like I was just laughing in there. Like I don't know why. I was so emotional and like it was an emotional roller coaster in that thing. Like I swear I sounded so bipolar in there. But like I started laughing at myself because I was like, I was really scared of this. I was panicking about this. Like this is relaxing. I need to let myself I need to just let it happen basically.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I was laughing at that. And the more time that passed by, man, I don't even know how much time passed by. It's insane. But more time passed by, and at one point, like in the tank, I guess let me describe like what you're doing in there. Like you're floating, right? Not only that, but like every now and then, like you drift off like to the side and like you hit the edge of the wall. Oh. So it kind of like snaps you back out of like a thought or anything or something. Like I don't know. It kept me because I could tell like I was about to fall asleep. Like every time I felt like extremely like just my eyes were closed. I was extremely relaxed. But like my thoughts were still going, which is the weirdest part. Like I felt like my body was asleep, but my mind was going. And so I'd knock against the wall. And so she said to, the owner said to put yourself back in the middle, you know, just reach both your feet out, kind of like a starfish. And so you just, you know, fingers against the wall and then you just hold it there and you slowly bring your arms back in. And so that'll keep you centered for, she said, like about another 10 minutes. And then eventually you'll hit another wall and then it'll bring you back. And then you just center yourself again. And it was so weird, but that's basically what was going on the whole time. I was centering myself and then closing my eyes again. Just, you know, I put my arms right here, my hands right here, something put them down here, put them up here. But it was just so relaxing. Like you don't feel it. And I guess I don't know if I would call this a hallucination or not. But at certain points, like I felt like I was like fizzing out. Like I don't know, it was so weird. Like I just felt like I was like with the water right there. Like you can't tell where your limbs end and the water starts. Mm-hmm. So it's like you just feel like you're just there. Like it's just your head basically. And so everything else just feels weird. So like every now and then I'd kind of like panic a little. So I'd feel myself like, okay, now I'm still here. And by the way, yeah, you do go in completely naked.
Completely.
Yeah, completely, all the way. But yeah, every now and then, like I feel myself like, stop. Like why am I taking these like security measures to make sure I'm still here? Like that's the point is to like practice surrendering and letting go. So I stopped doing that, and then that's when I entered a completely new state of like just peace. I felt like so peaceful. So there was this point where like I guess no thoughts really came into my mind. I was just present. It was the weirdest thing, but I just felt like peace, like just so peaceful. Like, you know what? All these issues, none of that matters. And I guess that's when the thoughts started rolling in about like, wow, like there's so much to do. There's so much like going for you. Like everything's fine, everything's okay. Yeah. And so that's when I started, you know, at the beginning I was laughing and like towards the middle, like I was crying because I was just like so grateful. I was so overwhelmed by gratitude. That's awesome. I started crying. I was like, wow, I've, you know, my family, I have good friends, I have my girlfriend, I have like, you know, just, I just started like naming all these things that I was grateful for. And so, oh man, it was just so weird, but I was just overwhelmed by it. And that's so I was like, you know what, life is going to be okay. Like things are going to be okay. Yeah. And so then I started laughing at myself for crying. I was like, I'm really crying in here. Like this doesn't happen. Like I know it's like something's going on, but, yeah, and then after a while, like I bumped into the wall and I just kind of like well, I was crying. Like I wasn't 100% aware of it. I was just letting it go. And so, yeah, I didn't know how much time had passed by. I'm guessing like it was like more towards the end, but finally the music started playing. The music at the end started playing. And so I thought that I was hallucinating this music because it sounded way too, like, I don't know what I was thinking. I really don't. Like, looking back, I should have just, like, she said that she was going to play, like, a certain song that it's time to, like, get out. Like, wake up and get out. And so, I don't know why, but I accidentally ignored it because I thought, like, nah, it's only been, like, 20 minutes. This can't be the song. I still have a whole 40 minutes left. So I kept on laying there a little bit more, and the song kept on playing. And I was like, yeah, see, like, I'm pretty sure if it was a song, they would have knocked on the door or something. So it's not. So I kept on laying there. I kept on relaxing. I was just listening to the beautiful vocals of this song. And also, I should probably describe, like, since everything's like pitch black darkness, I don't know, like, your mind tries to come up with things, or mine at least. And so I was seeing all these, like, nice little lights and colors and, like, shapes and just this whole array of, like, visuals. I mean, it's nothing to like scare you or anything. It was just like relaxing, I guess, just to see what your mind can come up with. But anyway, yeah, that song kept on playing, and I just kept on laying there. And so I was wondering, then this is when I started to overthink. And I guess this is like my biggest takeaway that I got from this.
Good.
Yeah, well, probably not the biggest, but it did help me as to why I was having these bad trips back then, like with psychedelics. Which is like, it's insane because like that's what I needed. Like that's what I needed, and it gave me that. So like as that song started playing, I was like, dang, this song, this whole time they've been playing binaural beats and meditation music. Why all of a sudden is it playing like these vocals? Like this is a completely different like song.
Completely new
like,
song.
A different genre. Like this doesn't match any of the other music. Then I started thinking like, holy shit, what if I didn't wake up? What if I'm on a hospital bed, or what if I'm on the couch right now and they're playing music like through speakers to like try and wake me up like with some music. They're trying to play music.
What the
like maybe Brianna's listening to music, or they're playing music somewhere outside. And I still think that I'm in here, but like I'm at like what if like the last thing I remember is me being in here and I'm like my actual body is out there right now, like being like playing music and shit. Like holy shit, what happened? And I started to feel the anxiety. I was like. I started feeling that. So I was like, wait a second. No. This is the problem. This is how I've gotten these bad trips on psychedelics before, is that I convinced myself that something might have happened. And then I feel like for the rest of that trip that thing that actually happened is happening. Yeah. And so I was like, no, that's not it. That can't be it. I need to relax with that. That is the problem. And I finally realized the problem. That's the problem, that I let myself go with these thoughts. And I come up with all these scenarios as to like that already happened, and then this is happening because of that happened. And so I stopped myself. I was like, no, I'm still breathing. That means I'm still alive. I'm still okay. I'm still in the pod because I'm aware of my surroundings. Okay, I'm fine. Even though everything was pitch black, and I was still reminding myself, everything is fine. I'm still alive. This isn't happening. Maybe the music is playing, but it's just different music, but I'm still okay. So I stopped that complete train of thought, and like, I don't know why, I felt like I got a thumbs up from the universe, or from Jesus himself. Because at one point I felt like Jesus' presence in there too. I don't know, it was a crazy experience. Like I felt like this really soft light just enter and just like fizzle away throughout my entire body, and I dissolved into the water at one point. I know I'm going all over the place, but like as I'm talking, I'm remembering certain things that were going on. But yeah, that happened, and anyway, I guess back towards the end, that music was playing. I convinced myself that, you know what, this isn't actually happening. I didn't actually, pass out, and now I'm somewhere else. Mm-hmm. Like I'm still in this room, and so, sure enough, then Brianna comes in, and she's like the lights turn on. I'm like, why did the lights turn on? I guess now it's time to go. And so Brianna opens the latch, and she's like, why are you still in here? I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, yeah, why are you still in here? I was like, what? I was so confused. Like, what are you doing in here? She's like, yeah, the nurse said, or not the nurse, the owner said that she was trying to wake you up, and you wouldn't wake up. Like she was playing the music louder and louder, and you wouldn't wake up. Like, because there's speakers inside the tank, and so she controls it from the outside. Yeah, she was blasting it from the outside, and I wouldn't wake up, or like, I don't know. I forget if I was actually asleep or not. I don't think I was, because I still had thoughts going, or maybe my body was asleep. I don't know. I still can't figure that part out. But point is, I stayed in there longer than what I was supposed to.
Yeah.
Because they're not allowed to go in there, like unless they absolutely have to.
Uh-huh.
So by waking them up, they just need to turn up the music louder and louder.
Yeah.
And so I wouldn't wake up. So she told Brianna, like, hey, go in there and wake them up. You know, I don't want to have to go in there like see you naked, and then you go in there and wake them up. And so I looked so weird apparently according to Brianna. Like I just looked and I was like, huh? Like, what? like literally, bro, because like I was exposed to light for the first time in an hour and 15 minutes. And I was like, huh? Like, what? What's going on? And she was like, yeah, you stayed in here like for way too long. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like the lights just turned on. She's like, yeah, because I opened the door and came in here, the motion sensor. I was like,
what the fuck?
I was like, okay, but like still, like what? Like, so you're already out? It's already over for you? She's like, yeah, it was over for both of us a long time ago.
What?
I was so confused. I was like, no way. Well, why didn't they wake me up? What happened? And she was like, well, because they played the music louder and louder. You're supposed to listen to the music. And I was like, it just confused me a lot.
Yeah.
And apparently she played it the same song 5 times. But I swear it was only once, bro. Like I thought I only heard the song once, and it was like only 3 minutes. Apparently, like I stayed there like an extra 15 minutes or something.
What the?
But it felt like just 1 minute. I was like I was just listening to the song. I could have sworn I was like listening to one word at a time, but apparently it was one song. She played it 3 times, and then she played a second song 2 times. So like it was like 15 minutes. And
you was in there for a
I know. And so I just wouldn't get up. But yeah,
that's insane.
After that, I got out, showered, shampooed and conditioned my hair. They have like a little shower in that same room, and so showered, got all that, dressed up, and I was still so confused. Like my mind was. I'm not even like at that moment. My mind was blown. I was over here thinking I was only 20 minutes in.
Yeah.
But the whole thing ended that fast.
Quickly.
Like, because I thought I was barely getting into it. I was like, I'm finally getting the hang of this. I'm, not controlling my thoughts, but I'm like letting these thoughts pass and not affect me. And I just thought I had so much time left to experience this. Mm-hmm. But it ended that fast, and it still blows my mind how fast. Like that, like time really doesn't exist. Yeah. It's insane. But yeah, showered, got out, time changed, and then I went out there, talked to the owner.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was dumb.
That leads me into like I guess basically you kind of hit on it. Like thoughts that you felt after, like I guess realizations, thoughts, and like how you felt.
So how I felt after, like I'm still feeling the effects to this day, like in a very slight way, because like it's more like I catch myself thinking these negative thoughts a lot quicker. And like we're usually they because like thoughts do create like a physical response, because anxiety can be felt on a physical level, stress can be felt on a physical level. You get all tense, like your jaw's clenched, like so thoughts do affect your body in a way. And so even yesterday and this morning were usually the same thoughts that I'd have, whether it concerns like business, work, stress, whatever's going on. Like I usually have these thoughts and it causes that stress. It's more like I'm just observing these thoughts and I'm looking for solutions instead of letting that thought affect me physically. So it's very weird now. It's like a new mindset. It's like a minor tweaking instead, like where I just realized, oh, okay, that's going on. Well, I just need to look for ways to solve it. I don't need to dwell on the what ifs, what if I don't, what if I can't, It's more like, okay, I'm looking for ways to solve that. So that's I guess the mental aspect of it. And so yeah, I definitely feel like my anxiety and stress levels are like dramatically been reduced, because now I don't even think about the what ifs or what's going to happen. It's more like I just have to focus on right now, basically. Even this morning, like I was on my phone doing things for work, and so I was eating, and so eventually, like when stress enters the body or anxiety, like you kind of like slow down your eating. You kind of don't want to eat as much, and it just stops like your gut a little. This time it was like no, like I'm scrolling through here, and I caught myself thinking about stuff like that, and it didn't affect me in a physical way. So I just kept on eating like normal, even though like thoughts that cause stress were supposed to cause stress were entering my mind. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's like I don't know. But
did you catch it before though? That's why.
Yeah, before
you felt the feeling.
Yeah. That's the point that I was so surprised about it, because like usually like I would not eat as much, or maybe I eat through the sensation of not being hungry, even though I know I am. I'm supposed to eat. Like
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Have you ever felt like anxiety on that level, which just like puts you off your food? It's like
so want to eat.
It's just stressful. Like I don't want to eat.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, that's usually that physical response. But yeah, that mentally that's the difference I see. Physically, I feel like very light, like very light and weird. Like even today when I went to the gym, like things felt like in their place, like shoulders, joints, and everything just felt like they were moving as they should. Good. And so it just felt really good physically, mentally, still feel good. But let me tell you that first hour after I got out of that tank was just an amazing experience because like every color was so vibrant. That's awesome. Everything just was amazing. And then we went to go eat like at this vegan restaurant right after, and oh my god, the food just tasted so much better. I was enjoying that so much. We ate like on an outside like balcony, and they were like I mean the sky was like blue. There was these little ants crawling on like the wood fence next to us, and I was just looking at the little ants. I was like, wow, life, you know. It was weird, but like that's how I felt. Everything just like popped out a lot more, and it felt really, really good. Yeah, and I'm going again.
That's good. That's so awesome that it had this effect on you, bro. Honestly,
yes, it's amazing.
I'm curious to do it now.
Dude, please do it, bro.
I want to start to levitate.
No, it's so good. Apparently, like it gets better. Like it gets better. So
over time when you do it.
Yeah, that's why we signed up for this like 3 package deal where like the first the owner mentioned the first time is just like you're basically getting into it. You're getting comfortable with the idea of it. Yeah. So you might be nervous, you might be overthinking, you know, might experience all these things. Sometimes you might even play around in the tank, might not take it as seriously. It's just, you know, it's your first time. Mm-hmm. The second time you're getting more used to it. The third time is when you actually reap like the best benefits. Ooh. So the third time I'm looking forward to that.
That makes complete sense because at first you're like, you have thoughts, you're not used to it, it's a new environment. Yeah, that's awesome. So what would you say, like, would you recommend this to all the people listening?
Yes, 100%. At my place, they charged about $1 a minute, so it's $75 for 75 minutes. And
I still think that's so good.
Yeah, no, it's a really good price. And some people that slept on my story, they thought that was a long time. Like, why so long? Can we not get it shorter? I was like, trust me, you want it to be longer because 75 minutes in that tank is not 75 minutes. I promise you. Like, it just doesn't exist right there. Like, it's so weird. But yeah, no, it's 75 minutes in the Chattanooga place. That's
the minimum?
That's the minimum. So 75 minutes, the next one's like 90 minutes. But no, yeah, I definitely recommend it to everyone. Search up flotation tank near me or sensory deprivation tank near me. I think there's only 100 in the country. I forgot.
No way.
And she's one of them. And apparently, the owner was telling Brianna this while I was like apparently still knocked out in the tank. Yeah. They were having this whole conversation outside, and apparently like they all know each other. Like all the owners of sensory deprivation tanks in the country, they all know. They're all in a group on a Facebook group chat. They know each other pretty well. Yeah. And I was like, dang. So there's that few places.
That is amazing.
And we have one like literally an hour away from us.
That's something. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, no, I definitely recommend it. Whether it's to relieve like bodily tension and stress in the body, you know, go over there and do that. It's an experience, you know. So I definitely recommend that. In the mind, if you're going through anxiety, stress, or even depression, like this allows you to, or even if you're not suffering from any of these things, you know, just go for the sake of creativity and new experience, because that's apparently what it does.
Yeah, and, that's amazing. That's so amazing.
Yeah, it was really good.
What would you say to these people that say, you know, I'm too claustrophobic for this? What can I do?
Good question, because I actually am as well. And the thing is, claustrophobia is triggered by like the senses. You know, when you see that you're boxed in, when you feel that you're boxed in or cornered, like you can't breathe. But since it's dark in there, like you literally can't see anything and you're floating, like you feel like you have so much more space than there actually is. Mm-hmm. And plus, it's really not that small. I'd say it's about 2 bathtubs big.
No way.
Yeah, that's so it's pretty big. Like you're not like this. Like you literally you can stretch your arms all the way and like barely touch the walls, kind of. Like you have to like lean to touch it and like lean to touch it. And not only that, but like it stretches out pretty far out like that way too. Yeah. So. There's definitely plenty of space in there. Definitely plenty of space. And, you know, me being claustrophobic, like, as fuck, like, even in there, like, I didn't feel claustrophobic. I even wanted to, like, close the latch on it, too. Because it didn't feel like that way at all. Like, you're literally floating, and you're in peace, and it's not like you're going to be locked in there, and, like, you can't breathe. They have, like, ventilation coming in from under that just supplies fresh oxygen every now and then. Room temperature oxygen, or not room temperature, like, body temperature oxygen. So like everything feels just nice and it matches the temperature of your body. So
That's
it feels
so cool.
really,
That
really
is so
good.
cool, honestly.
Yeah.
Like it's like it really is. Like I see it as the ultimate meditation. Simply floating and not having to feel anything. It's literally you and your mind in complete darkness.
Yes.
This is how you honestly feel these feelings or thoughts that you have in your mind. Because you have no choice.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to do. This is all literally you and your mind.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the main things that I saw like throughout all the articles and videos is that we're distracted constantly, and like now more than ever for the first time in human history we have so much data input in our brains. Like you understand how much our brain is processing on a daily basis now? Like back then it was never like this. Now we have flashing screens, lights, numbers consistently. And so we're being bombarded. Our brains are being bombarded and they're begging for a break. You know, our brains are begging for a break. And so this is the perfect time because it gives you like you don't check your phone. Like your phone's just outside in the little room right there. And it's just you and your mind. You get to analyze what you really need instead of continuously putting it down. So it's totally worth it.
That's amazing. That's so amazing, guys. If you could feel the energy in this room, I'm telling you. Because when he was speaking on gratitude, I felt this energy, and it's just so insane how really you can feel people's energies. And you can clearly see the benefits in Harvey. And that's why he recommends that you do it. I am going to definitely do it.
Please do it. Like you're actually
I would see how it is. Like, I don't know, maybe I'll come out a new human being.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, like, I don't know why I call it like the hyperbolic time chamber, like as a joke.
Yeah.
Dude, because I'm not like, I'm pretty sure an hour in there equals like a year of just therapy of the mind in there, yeah. Because it's insane. Like you come out a new person. It feels amazing. Like it's a step forward every time you go in there, I believe. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna go again. And Mar, you definitely have to go, and then I'm gonna interview you. Interview you on your experience.
That'd be awesome.
See how it was different. See what happened.
Whoa, that's so interesting. Also, the lady that owns it, she said she was down to be on the podcast.
Yes.
So look forward to that, guys. She is going to be on. I'm saying it right now, everybody. Yeah. So please comment for that. You know, hopefully y'all give us feedback. Tell us how everything's been, and tell us how you are. Yeah. Because we care about it.
Yes, and also I'm glad you brought up that she was going to be on the podcast. Yes. If y'all have any questions for her, you know, she's the owner of the place that we went to. It's called Lucidity, and
that's a cool name.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And she's been floating. They call it floating. She's been floating for 6 years now, so she knows basically. She's an experienced floater right there. So any questions that you have, DM us on Instagram at SocietySucksTM.
Yes,
and,
please.
Let us know if you'd like us to have any questions prepared out for her, and
Yeah, that's awesome. So I guess that wraps it up. Unless you have any specific thing that you want to hit on, Harvey.
That's about it. It was a great experience. I recommend it to everyone.
Yes.
Everyone.
That's so good. So
all right.
With that, we appreciate you taking the time to be here with us.
Yes, thank you.